And he was able to take the short throw and turn it into a big game and a conversion on third down. That's a big pickup.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw caught by AWB. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Now Lance again. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Come on, set.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Close, 10.
On play action, Lance. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Drill green. Steal. Check steal.
Throwing his Lance on third down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
52 blaster. Price, 97. Ready.
Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go. Check.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Gino now to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Smith. Man open, it's Goodwin. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Come on.
Walker. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Just beating the play clock, Smith.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Paulson to Debo.
He's at the 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's a tough blow there offensively. Had a decent drive going. You've got the lead, and now things completely flipped on you.
Yeah, because they've been dominating on both sides of the ball. But after that mistake there, it's got to be tough for them to look up and realize we're trailing in this ball game. I thought we had complete control.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On the counter, it's Walker. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I showed my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
On the
Line
ready.
of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Lance going to hold on to it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That one is blown up by Jordan Brooks, the linebacker. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always...
Touchdown, Saints! Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Third and 2, Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. The Seahawks offense I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Back to Walker on first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith. Steps away. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Here we go, set.
A final shot before half for Lance.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
They'll find good one here on the right side. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Come on, come on.
Now Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's
that's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. To the air again, Smith. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this one is incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, break. 79 Broncos.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Smith.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Justin Evans.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the... So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
22 needle.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
52. Black shot. Strike 2. Strike. Ready?
Now a play fake. Lance.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers. And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on them, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Tackle made by Justin Evans.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
On second and 7, Smith. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Throwing on third down, Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquise Goodwin. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air.
And the Seahawks are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Let's go now.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. Gino's going to throw. It's caught at the 1. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Yeah, they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you put something out there, you give yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
To throw, it's Lance.
Being chased, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Credit the tackle to Kentavious Street, the product of NC State. From the 35 on 2nd down, Smith. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Room here to run. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, New Orleans.
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Here we go on fourth. Smith. He's got his tight end fan. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Out of the gun, Smith. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Smith. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get a bit closer. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18.
Makes the score Saints 45, Seahawks 27.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Lance going to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Walker now on 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Smith. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Let's go
In
now.
need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much since.
19, 5 years. Come back to you. Come back to you. Panther 11. Panther 11.
Now Gino. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So on fourth down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. Myers' kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first down.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Ready.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Buffalo 18. 19 tight. 19 tight.
Smith now to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So 8 yards on the completion there. And it's 3rd and 4 now. On third down, here's Walker. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Again, it's Walker. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Touchdown, Seahawks. Marquise Goodwin, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. Here's Smith looking to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here we go. Here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Jet sweep. Here's Olave. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing now is Lance. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Quick throw to Olave. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Try to run down some clock with Kamara. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 93 yards on the ground for him so far. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
Not a major surprise on 3rd down, and they go with the heavy personnel, just trying to push the pile forward and get the 1st down, but they don't get it.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Here we go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for New Orleans, they moved back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.